Welcome back to another episode of Let's Finally Grow. It may be summer, but it has been really fucking chilly this past week. So I'm in a hoodie, I'm in sweatpants, I have a cozy blanket, which honestly, I feel like being bundled up for an episode is so like chic. It's like the right thing to do. So you should get cozy too. Do as I do. And as I say, yeah, okay. Weird shit going down today. Weird shit going down. And you know what? I'm not going to react to it. I'm not going to react to the weird shit. I'm going to embrace the weird shit. I'm going to stay calm during the weird shit. There's nothing in my personal life that's weird shit happening right now. I just kind of wanted to snowball on top of that to go into the topic of today's episode, which is reactive behavior. The weird shit that I was referencing was the blanket, the coziness, the way I was talking, like, and that weird shit's always happening, but we're not going to react to it. Yeah, I should go take a breath and start saying something that makes sense so you don't leave, okay? Please fucking stay for the episode. I have had so much trouble sleeping this past week. I'm blaming it on astrology without knowing what the fuck's happening in astrology to blame it on it. But I just know that when I really can't sleep late at night, it's a astrology induced. And if someone here knows more than I do, please let a girl know. But I couldn't sleep last night, and I had this thought of reactive behavior. I used to be the most reactive girl. And it hit me that I am not that reactive girl anymore. And take it a step further, my life has changed so much since I've retired my reactions, since I hung them the fuck up. And I think the number one reason behind that is when you react, you give your power away, which is so interesting because I know I was so reactive, thinking I could change a situation when really I was just giving my power away and not changing a situation for the better whatsoever. Or for me. Better for me. No. Much worse for me. I used to give my power away like crazy. I would internalize other people's emotions. I would live in people's shame and confusion, or sometimes my own shame and confusion because I was more upset with how I acted than even the person in this situation. And I'm just over here confused as fuck, not recognizing any of it due to my reactive behavior. So many times I thought I was sad about a boy. Newsflash. I was sad about how I made myself look in front of that boy. I was not sad about the boy. It's crazy, you know? You sit back, you take a second, you try to like see things in a different light, and you actually can, versus just giving your reaction in the heat of the moment. Love emotions, but they can get you in trouble. When I think back to a moment that I stopped reacting, I can't pinpoint the exact moment, but I can think of a few moments that were just so absurd in my life. And in my mind, I wasn't even trying not to react in these situations. They were just so extreme that I knew if I reacted, it was not going to get anywhere, and it was just going to get so much worse. So I guess I remained calm in these situations, but I don't know how calm I actually was. My reaction on the outside was pretty calm, but on the inside, you know, I still had to work through some shit. And once I did it, I think for one situation I can think of that I can't get into on here. I mean, it's just too deep, and it's like family stuff. Like we're not gonna, it's already raining outside right now. We're not gonna rain on this motherfucking episode. And after that situation, like the severity of it and the lack of my reaction, it changed my world, because the next time I had a situation that wasn't as intense and my body then knew like the behavior from before, like not reacting, and how good I felt from not reacting, and how much shame and guilt I didn't have, it was game over. I was like, you will not get a piece of this reaction. It was like I taught my body once not to do it. But again, it might have been a few times. I just really can't even think. I don't know. But regardless, I kept my emotion to myself, and then I continued to keep my emotion to myself. So it's not like I'm over here ever in any situation saying, I don't react to shit anymore. I'm just better. I'm better than that. Maybe I used to be. No, I accidentally didn't do it. And guess what? Changed my motherfucking life. But something that I learned, and I feel like fuels me, like I love this part about not reacting, is you get to see how other people unfold without your reaction, which is just so fulfilling. When I was reactive towards everything in my life, I was so extreme, and I was constantly in situations where even if I wasn't wrong, even if I was wrong, I made myself look worse because of my reaction, which made me second guess everything and never see the situation clear. Now that I don't give my power away, my energy, I take a step back. I try to watch it unfold, see things, question, take accountability for my part, see what's actually going the fuck down. The silence and the lack of reaction exposes the fuck out of people. And not only for you, you see how people see themselves. Like it never had anything to do with you. It never did. And like now I actually take accountability for my part in a situation versus how I reacted towards a situation. Because when you react extreme with your emotions, you might not even see where you were wrong in anything else because you just blew up a fucking situation. And I think the satisfaction of the silence is something that fuels me to not react. But then another thing that fuels me is, I've learned this the hard way by working through emotions. They say they make growing look glamorous, but you have to really look in the mirror at yourself, and it's not fucking glamorous. This part was not for me. I realized that my reactions, my emotions, 9 out of 10 times, 10 out of 10 times were triggers. So I'm triggered in a situation, and let's say for an example, it's over a boy, because I've had so many crash outs, so many reactions over boys, trying to tell them what's up, whatever. And I might have been hurt by a few boys before this boy in different ways. And, this build up, like, also, I've been hurt by my father. So, like, now take all of these build ups towards ways I've been hurt by men, and I'm projecting it on a man. And, this man, really, he did something, but he didn't do all of that. That to me is also fuel, because if I'm going to be mad at someone and I want the situation to be clear, I don't want them to sit there and be like, I'm definitely not wrong because I don't know what the fuck this girl's talking about. Like, I did not do all those things. It did not warrant that reaction. But when you're triggered, you remember all the ways you felt in those other situations. And if it's now your time to speak up, you've had enough, you're ready to react, boom, throwing that on someone else. And then the situation turns into like you feeling like you're crazy, you feeling like you're misunderstood. I've had so many scenarios like this where I was left with guilt, shame, and confusion in friendships, in dating, because how I internalized things and then reacted on it. We're all human. We all get triggered. We all internalize situations, but like we need to work through the emotions on our own before we shoot fire at the fucking world. Shoot fire. That's what I used to do. And I think another lesson that really, really like taught me a lot in this situation is I love moving on. I love moving on, you know, working through things, keeping life rolling, keeping the ball rolling. I don't like getting stuck in situations. And it's easier to move on from a situation if you know that you did something wrong in it, because then you can fucking fix that, versus reacting like fucking crazy, blaming the other person. And what, are you waiting for an apology? Are you waiting for that person to change? No, it's not going to happen. And of course, okay, I'll share a story or two. We'll start with the one about a time I've reacted crazy. So this was with a boy, and this was years ago. This was not any time recently in the last few years. This was years ago. And I was talking to this guy, and he wasn't great. Let's start with that. And we weren't even serious. I think I had a crush, but he was very unreliable. So I was out one night with my friends and I ran into him, and him and I went home together. The next day I woke up and we both said we were going to the same place that night with, like, not together, like with our individual groups of friends. And it was a bar in the city. There was a baseball game. I think, yeah, there was a baseball game. Go Phillies, sports. And I'm drunk out with my friends. It's a Saturday night. I think it was like a big Phillies game, because it was playoffs or something. I don't know. It was a huge game, and the bar was fucking packed. So like, I couldn't, if he was at the bar, I couldn't easily pick him out of the crowd and see him. Like, we would have to message to see each other there. So I messaged him and I was like, hey, are you at blah, blah, blah? He writes back, yes. And I'm like, where are you? Where the fuck are you? Where are you at, bitch? Where the fuck find you, motherfucker? No, I just wrote, where are you? That's all I wrote. And then he didn't respond to me. So now, if anybody in this world knows me, they know that when I drink, I am absolutely fucking horrible with my phone. It's not a pretty sight to see, but it is an unforgettable one. So I'm calling him, I'm texting him. I'm so drunk. I'm like, I don't know. Then I honestly gets blurry, and this was so long ago. He didn't answer me. And I think at this point I already had sent a pretty crazy message. I was trying to, you know what? Let me look on Instagram, because pause for a second. Okay, I just went on a very long dive on my Instagram to try to find out more details about this situation, because I can't remember what the hell I messaged him when I was drinking. And regardless, I already knew that I probably shouldn't be talking to this guy anymore, because like, sometimes in a situationship, I feel like you know where it's going to go. Like, you know if someone's going to try to pursue you more, or if they're just going to try to like maintain the level that they have you. And I felt that he was just going to try to maintain the level that he had me. And also, we were at the same place and he didn't say hi, probably because he was with another girl. You know, read the writing on the wall. That's how I took it. And that's what my intuition was telling me too. So who knows what I said when I was drunk, but I was pretty much like, you ain't having this anymore. And I think I called him a fuck boy. And the next day, me and my friends decided to continue a bender, because we drank Friday, we drank Saturday, now we're Sunday brunching. And we take a video all saying, I can't remember, I think we were saying, fuck boy, fuck boy, fuck boy, fuck boy on my phone. I think that's what it was. It was something like that. And then I posted it. And in my drunk state of mind. And listen, I'm making this sound a lot better than it was, because I 100% told this guy off. Now I'm bringing it to social media, and it was not a fucking, like, I should not have reacted that way, but I did. And I learned a lesson, and now I can look back on it and be like, he didn't deserve it. And like, because I reacted that way in that situation, it took me so long to like fucking forgive myself. And he probably like thought he did nothing wrong because he's like, that bitch is crazy. I'm so happy I got away from her. Okay, wait. Somehow I found this in my phone. I found the archive post and the video of what I posted. So this means is what I sent to him in a text. The video is me and my friend saying, "Stay toxic," not fuck boy. So I messaged him, "Stay toxic," and then I posted a video. Maybe I'll post. I'll stay toxic, and I was like, "Stay toxic," and I put it in like my photo dump reel for the weekend. So just needed to add that in before, we conclude. Yeah. There was another time that I was having a falling out with a friend. He wasn't really acting like a friend, and I'm not too sad about the falling out, but she said something that triggered me. And we were at a bar and we were supposed to meet up to talk and work our situation, like talk our situation out and work out things. And she said something that was triggering, and it was intentional. It wasn't like she said something and like, oops, it triggered me. This was a situation where she wanted to get a reaction out of me and I fucking gave it to her. That boy situation, I highly doubt I would put my life on it that he did not want that reaction out of me whatsoever. I definitely not. Definitely not. Although they say they always come back, and that motherfucker did come back, and I said no, the door was closed. But now the friendship situation, she wanted a reaction out of me, and I told her to go fuck herself and walked out of the bar and called it a day. Never talked to her again. So those are just two examples of who I used to be. Because at the end of the day, these people did not deserve my reaction. And I gladly gave it to them and then acted as if I was so upset with them when really I was so upset with myself for acting that way. I never feel good. Never feel good when I act that way. And in both situations, I was extremely triggered. Like, it wasn't even something they did that made that emotion in me. That emotion was already in me and they just brought it out again. Now, I don't know about you, but me, I feel like humans in general, like we feel misunderstood, and that's just going to leave you feeling further misunderstood. Now, when there's a situation that has me feeling a little triggered, a little uneasy, pissed off, ready to storm the fucking world, I obviously still get triggered with those emotions, but I take a step back and I sit with it before I say anything. And the more times that I sit with it and don't react, the easier it becomes. Like, it's like a new habit formed, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna react, motherfucker. I don't know why, because I feel like I want to right now, but there's a feeling, I remember a feeling good, and it did not come from any of the times I reacted. Also, if there's a situation to mend, like, I always realize I do want to mend a situation if it's possible. Some you can't, and that's fine. And if I react, I'm throwing that shit out the window. I'm going to look crazy because now I go balls to the wall. And next thing you know, I'm like, world peace. We can talk this through. And I want to, even if I'm not working something out with someone, I want a person to know that I see the part I played in it. Not that they even want to know, but if anyone looks back at a situation, they may never. If there's a possibility where they can see, like, I was level-headed versus irrational, I want that because that just fucking feels better. And if someone's trying to get a reaction out of me, they're not going to come back to me because I handled that situation level-headed. And if they're looking for the person that is going to give a reaction, they're going to know they can't fucking get it from me, because that's a whole other thing. There are so many, like when people say, don't give them what they want, literally the reaction is what they want. There's so many people intentionally, subconsciously trying to get a reaction out of others. And the more you react, the more they're going to find you. It's like they literally are like energy vampires. Like they just fucking come around and they know exactly where you are. They can sniff you out of a fucking crowd. And I don't want to be in those tangled webs anymore of confusion of who did what wrong, my reaction, I reacted poorly, blah, blah, blah. Like it's like a literal webs of confusion that I like to use that space for other things, a lot more things that can actually move me forward in life. I also would never want to be a target for chaos. There was definitely a part of my life that I was a target for chaos, and I did not recognize it. And I think the way I reacted towards things had a lot to do with it. It played a very big part. But now I'm here to say that those days are behind me. Try to get a reaction out of me. I fucking dare you. But it also, like, another part I think of it is like people online. I mean, I'm posting this online, so of course my mind goes to this place. But people who post online and like they have so many haters, so many people that like them, whatever. And like everyone wants to hear, everyone's story. They want to be logged into the drama. They want access to someone's life, and they want to get what they want out of it. And when people don't speak on situations, I think it's probably because they have to have some sort of boundary, line in the sand, and not give everyone the reactions that they want. Because the more you speak on things, I feel like an audience, people are trying to get you to speak on something, and you react and you do it, the more they're going to do it. Or if you react to like negativity on the internet, it's going to keep finding you. So reactive behavior is just interesting, and it's not great. It's not great. And if you're stuck in reactive cycles, just always remind yourself you're doing the best you can. And I don't know, that always helps me get out of things. If I tell myself I'm literally doing the best that I can with what I know, what I have, whatever, it helps me work it out. The more like shame I've given myself, the more I've stayed in cycles that I didn't want to be in, and the more lenient and understanding I am with me. I move on forward, okay? That's how I react now. Reactive behavior looks different these days. All right. This was a cozy little cute episode. I'll have more in store soon. Until the next time we get to speak again, just hold your reactions for a minute and let me know how it goes. I wish the best for you. Do the best you can. TTY. Ayo. Mwah.